We all know Dwayne The Rock Johnson. He's a titled pro wrestler turned Hollywood actor, known for his roles in Baywatch, Moana, Fast and Furious, as well as Jumanji: The Next Level. But did you know that Johnson has a secret family connection to the James Bond franchise? And speaking of James Bond, what is the future for 007 now that Daniel Craig has departed from the role and Bond himself was killed at the end of the last film? All the answers and more are coming up in this video, so keep watching. So what's the connection between The Rock and James Bond? In a recent interview with the magazine Esquire, Dwayne The Rock Johnson revealed that he has a family connection with the James Bond franchise. But can you guess what that link is? No guesses? Well, in the interview with the men's magazine, he revealed that his grandfather, Peter Maivia, had played a small role in the 1967 James Bond film You Only Live Twice, taking on the role of a villain who comes up against 007, who at the time was played by Sean Connery. Yes, my grandfather was a Bond villain in You Only Live Twice with Sean Connery, Johnson told Esquire. Very, very cool. Who could have predicted this link? But who exactly was Dwayne Johnson's grandfather, and what did he do? Dwayne The Rock Johnson's grandfather was Peter Maivia, a Samoan American who, like his famous grandson, was also a professional wrestler. Clearly, the actor followed in his grandfather's footsteps, becoming a pro wrestler himself. Maivia was born in April 1937 in American Samoa and was an important part of the famous Samoan professional wrestling family, the Anoa'i family. However, unlike his grandson, Maivia didn't develop much of a taste for acting. You Only Live Twice was the only movie Maivia was ever credited to have appeared in. Maivia died in Hawaii in June of 1982. So with this family connection, will The Rock put himself forward for the James Bond role? We're not so sure. The Rock has enjoyed a Hollywood career now for a number of years, most recently playing alongside Wonder Woman's Gal Gadot and Ryan Gosling in the Netflix original action film Red Notice. His filmography covers action to comedy to even children's animation. In a nod to his Samoan heritage, The Rock lent his voice to the Disney Pixar animation film Moana back in 2016, voicing the character of Maui, who is partially modeled after The Rock's grandfather, Peter Maivia. The Rock marks the first non-Brit actor to be unofficially touted for the coveted role. As we know, traditionally Bond has always been played by a British actor in line with the Ian Fleming novels, and all the rest of the names rumored to be linked to the role are all Brits. However, while fans, commentators, and critics alike are keen to see some more diversity in the 007 films, having an American play the coveted British role might not please audiences. Having the coveted Doctor Who role taken up by a woman in 2017 was already controversial enough, but in American Bond, we already enjoyed seeing Daniel Craig's reaction to the possibility of Hugh Jackman being the first Australian to take over the role, claiming it would happen over my dead body. So how would the award-winning actor react to the idea of The Rock taking over as 007? I guess we'll have to wait and find out, but we wouldn't place any bets on it. So if not The Rock, who else is in the running to take over from Daniel Craig? And what is the future of James Bond after the latest film? Major spoilers ahead, so if you haven't already seen the latest installment of the 007 series, you might want to turn away now. Ears covered? Okay, continuing on. As you'll know if you've already seen the latest 007 offering, No Time to Die, Daniel Craig's James Bond dies at the end of the film. Shocker, right? While we already knew that the latest 007 film would be Craig's last, we didn't expect his final curtain call to be finished the way it did. So with James Bond's death already recorded on screen, how can the legacy of the legendary spy continue into the future films without going into prequel territory? Fans spotted that at the very end of No Time to Die's credits. A message claiming James Bond will return appeared on the screen. Now that the film has been out for over 2 months, franchise producer Barbara Broccoli decided to speak about Bond's future at Deadline's Contenders Film New York event this weekend, admitting that right now they don't know how exactly Bond will return. We'll figure that one out, but he will be back, she reassured fans. You can rest assured James Bond will be back. This was the first time that the Bond franchise killed off their lead, which was an incredibly bold, if perhaps reckless move. This could mean that the next Bond film will take place in another universe, similar to when Batman is recast. Back in October 2020, the producer teased some changes in an interview with Total Film. It will have to be reimagined in the way each actor has reimagined the role. That is what is so exciting and fun about this franchise. The character evolves. Eventually, when we have to think about it, we'll find the right person. But who could this right person be? And could it be that the series is prepping audiences for a fundamental change to our understanding of James Bond? Could a woman be the next James Bond? We don't think so. After having successfully implanted a woman into the role of Doctor Who, some fans have been keen to see another British screen legend follow in the same footsteps by making Daniel Craig's successor a woman. While it might be the hope for some Bond fans, predecessor Daniel Craig didn't seem too keen on the idea when a journalist posed the question during an interview. The answer to that is very simple, he told Radio Times. There should simply be better parts for women and actors of color. Why should a woman play James Bond when there should be a part just as good as James Bond, but for a woman? In 2020, Barbara Broccoli, the James Bond series producer, said that while she would like to create more female characters in the 007 universe, James Bond Bond would stay a man for as long as she controls the series. He could be of any color, but he is male, Broccoli confirmed. I believe we should be creating new characters for women, strong female characters. I'm not particularly interested in taking a male character and having a woman play it. I think women are far more interesting than that. Broccoli made those comments after Pierce Brosnan, who portrayed the iconic super spy James Bond in 4 007 movies, said it was time for a woman to take up the Bond role. So who do the producers want to take the place of Daniel Craig as James Bond? As the world of cinema moves on from Daniel Craig's curtain call in No Time to Die, we've all waited impatiently for news on who will be the new Bond taking up the iconic role. Unfortunately, with production teams keeping tight-lipped about potential new actors, we might have to be patient a little longer. However, one thing's for sure, Broccoli's team knows who they're looking for. Without naming names, the producers of the series have let it be known that they want the coveted role to be filled by a British man of any ethnicity or race, so place your bets for the next James Bond down below. Our money is on Idris Elba. So with everything considered, who could be the next James Bond? When it comes to imagining the new James Bond, there are plenty of British actors who pique our interest and our imaginations. Rumors are swirling that Henry Cavill might be the next actor to take up the prestigious role. Back in 2005, the search for the next James Bond had been narrowed down to 2 relatively unknown actors, Daniel Craig and Henry Cavill. At the time, young Cavill was just 22 and pretty inexperienced at playing any kind of action hero, which we imagine certainly contributed to his failure in locking the coveted role. Now at 38, he is the perfect age and has plenty of experience in major roles under his belt, whether it be in Superman, his anti-hero roles in The Witcher, as well as playing a Bond-esque secret agent turned killing machine role in Mission Impossible 6. Cavill himself has apparently claimed to be very excited at the prospect of taking up the role, and he remains the current favorite. So as we wrap up today's video, what have we established about the world of 007 and James Bond? Firstly, we now know that Dwayne The Rock Johnson's grandfather was a Bond villain, which is pretty cool. We also know that Bond won't be played by any female actress anytime soon. Sorry, ladies. And that if the role is to be announced shortly, there's a fairly high chance you'll be hearing Henry Cavill's name somewhere in the announcement. While nothing is guaranteed for sure, we're certainly excited to see how James Bond evolves after the shock ending to No Time to Die. Now it's time for you to let us know what you think. Who should be the next James Bond? Me? Let us know down in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more James Bond content coming up in the future.